Jericho Sims and how the team feels about him. Because listen, guys, there have been a lot of things going on with the Knicks right now. People have been talking about the Knicks potentially having depth because if Robinson goes down, you still have Jericho Sims there. You still have Preston Achiuwa there. But my pushback to that have always been that if the Knicks felt comfortable and confident with Jericho and Achiuwa at the depth that they had at the 5 spot, then why all offseason long were they looking for a backup big? Why are they still rumored to be looking to trade for a big, either a backup big or a starting big, come the trade deadline? That's because they are legitimately looking for targets and trying to get somebody else on this team. They are not confident or comfortable with who they have on the roster right now. And you don't have to believe me. Ian Bagley recently spoke about this on his mailbag, and he talked about Jericho Sims and how the team feels about him. And he said the following about him. As far as Sims goes, I don't have much insight into how the front office and Tom Thibodeau views Jericho Sims. But as noted above, the Knicks have been gauging their options at center. So that could give you a little insight into where they are on Sims. Unless I'm reading too much into it, the Knicks' actions suggest that they're not fully confident with Sims as a second or even third center at this point in time. Maybe Sims changes their mind with a strong training camp / preseason. But other than that, he's not looked at right now as somebody that confidently the Knicks feel like can take up that backup center responsibility. So everybody that's been telling me about Jericho Sims, we have to believe in him. He's going to have a spot. He's going to have a role. Maybe that's true. But the only way that happens is if during training camp, he goes off and shows the Knicks what he can really do, then and only then will he carve out some playing time for himself. Other than that, there is no way, no chance on this planet that Jericho Sims is going to see any time on this Knicks team as a backup center, especially when we're fully healthy. If we're not fully healthy and we only have Preston Achiuwa and Jericho Sims, maybe at that point in time, you'll see some Jericho Sims minutes. But this Knicks team, fully healthy, is not going to Jericho Sims first. Now you know. Preston Achiuwa is right now the backup to Mitchell Robinson. According to Bagley, the Knicks do not feel confident, don't even see Jericho Sims as a second or even third option as a backup center. With the current depth that we have right now, that's scary. And it tells me the writing's on the wall with Jericho Sims. His time in New York is not for long. He's going to stay here now because obviously we have a need for him. And if anything goes wrong, it's better to have somebody there than nobody there. That's why you keep him on the roster. But eventually, if a trade requires it or something requires it, Jericho Sims is out of here because clearly the Knicks do not have any confidence in him to even play a backup center position. And if that's the case, there is no chance he'll ever be a starting caliber center for this team. Somebody that can really realistically carve out significant minutes on this team. And this is just based on the reporting that we've been covering for the last few weeks and even today. So anybody telling me about Jericho Sims, he's going to get a lot of minutes, we're sleeping on him, I'm somehow disrespecting him when I'm talking about the fact that he's recovering from all these injuries. He hasn't shown anything to us for the 3 years he's been with us. And even when he has been on the court, sometimes his IQ there has been subpar. I say these things because they're true. I say these things for reasons why he doesn't get that playing time. And now we understand that the Knicks potentially view him the same way. Again, it's not hate. It's observing something and making a statement. You don't think I want Jericho Sims to do well? You don't think I want Jericho Sims to thrive? I do. But I want him to be able to thrive. I want him to be able to do well the way the Knicks need him to. Not any other way. And simply, he just hasn't done that. Tony says, trading an all-star for a bench player, we are not on drugs, I promise. Some people are. Some people are, Tony. Because these are the responses that I'm getting. Telling me things like, well, Julius Randle can definitely get traded. For who? Who? There's nobody listed. I don't understand. I don't understand it sometimes. I don't know how to say it. What do you want me to say? I don't know how to respond to all the. That's why some of the reports I let go. Did you see me respond to all of the other reports? There are a number of reports right now about the Julius Randle Dallas trade. You guys hear that? The Bobby Marks hypothetical trade when he was on the Zach Lowe podcast. He talked about Julius Randle potentially going to Dallas in a hypothetical trade. Now, you might be wondering why I didn't do a video about that, because I held my tongue. Because Bobby Marks said it was hypothetical. He quickly said it was never going to happen. So there was no reason for me to do a video. I'm very careful, guys, if you don't notice. I don't do a video about everything. I'm very, very careful. But I'm only human. Don't push me. Don't say things that are false. The Patrick Beverley video only exists today because his entire statement was false. Julius Randle's jersey's not in MSG. False. Julius Randle, you got to think, what is his role going to be on the Knicks? Nobody's thinking that. No one. Not one person. You got to think about, they added a lot of people that play Julius Randle's position. Who? OG doesn't play power forward. Mikal doesn't play power forward. Preston Achiuwa, $6 million Preston Achiuwa who we're going to trade. That's who you're worried about? The statements don't make sense. And when they don't make sense, ladies and gentlemen, my blood pressure gets up a little bit. When my blood pressure gets up a little bit, I get very, very angry, intense, hype, and I need to respond. And guess what? This is my outlet. You guys are my outlet. You guys are part of the reason that I can stay a little bit sane every single day, because I get to talk about the craziness with you. Anyways, Double A, he says, a pretty simple solution to playing time and roles issues. Instead of playing Randle and OG out of position, simple. Knicks have a boatload of guards, including newly signed Payne. Trade one in a package. Here's the thing, though, Double A. I don't think the Knicks can make the trades you want them to make. They don't have access to all the exact assets they would have until December 15th. And you got to remember, they still want to sign, Preston Achiuwa. So they're still looking to trade him. They don't want to keep him on the team, especially if they're looking to get another impactful player with size. Preston Achiuwa would not have that much value on this team. If anything, his value would be lowered. So you don't want him on this team at that point in time. I would make a trade and try to get Achiuwa out of here first for a big. And I think the only way you can do that is wait till the deadline. Now, I'm not saying the Knicks don't make a move. They still have the open roster spot. They can still convert anybody who's on a two-way contract or anybody who has a training camp deal to a standard NBA contract. So somebody else with size could make the roster. That's something else they could do. So again, they have options, but it's going to be interesting to see what they actually go into. Let's keep it going here and see what other comments that we have here. Finesseful J says Bol is happily on the Suns. Yeah, he is. I knew he was on a team. I thought it was the Suns, but I didn't really remember exactly because I don't pay attention to the Suns because they're not the Knicks. If you enjoyed these clips from the live show, be sure to subscribe to the channel and have notifications turned on so you don't miss any new episodes or when we go live. Thanks for watching, Knicks fans, and until next time, peace.